Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Intellectual Saviours of Wrestling. We are your hosts, the master of the brain damage, Mr. Martin, and the one and only Sam H. On this episode, we're going to be doing an Extreme Rules review, following on from our preview last week. And let's get to it. What do we got first?
Right, let's start off with the pre-show match, which was Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, as we predicted in the preview, Baron Corbin won this.
Yeah.
In a rather harsh fashion, may I add. A rather nasty low blow to Dolph Ziggler, and then he hit him with the end of days.
Yep, completely went as expected. Beat Ziggler clean. Like I said in the last one, Ziggler only pretty much exists now to put other people over. I haven't been a fan of his booking since he had the perfection gimmick.
That seems a long time ago now. Now that you've mentioned that, but yeah, he's pretty much been jobbing for the last year and a half, and yeah, I think that's about all the time we need to spend on that match.
Yeah,
it wasn't a particularly long match. Went on for just over 7 minutes. Yeah, and let's move on to the main card.
Right.
And the first match we had was the tag team tornado tag match between the Club and, well, do we still call them the Usos, or are they 2/3 of the Bloodline?
Yeah, it's a strange one because they've had the bloodline written on their sashes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose we'd still call them the Usos.
Yeah, let's go with that.
But yeah, I'm always a fan of tornado tag matches because without tagging, you have a solid match. And this was quite a solid match. Lots of high flying action. Anderson and Gallows were more of the power team, the offense.
Yeah, and not too many weapons, and luckily no interference.
No, it was a very clean match. Ended exactly the way I thought it would. With Anderson and Gallows hitting the finisher and picking up the win.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, it was a solid match. Good one to start the show off with. And yeah, I think both teams performed and done quite well.
Yeah, hopefully this serves to give the club some momentum for a tag title run in the future.
Yeah, I think it could be a while though before we see them going for the tag team titles. Well, it would appear that they're moving on from this storyline already, given that what escalated on Raw the next night. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do next with the club.
Well, will another member debut anytime soon?
Ooh, well, if it's going to happen, it's going to be at least another couple of weeks, I reckon. Yeah, there could be a chance, like you said, of Money in the Bank and Finn Balor inevitably coming up to the main roster.
You would think. I would be very surprised if his last NXT match wasn't the takeover one in the steel cage.
Yeah. I think it's a fitting end to it. And yeah, on the subject of that, I think they've actually named the next takeover. It's The End.
Oh, well, that's cryptic.
Yes, I think that'll signal the end of a few feuds they've got going on at the minute. So, yeah, I'm very much expecting that will be Finn's last match in NXT before he makes his way up to the roster.
Right, so what do we got next?
And then next, we've got the United States Championship match. David versus Goliath.
Again. Yeah.
And this time it was the Bulgarian brute, Rusev, against Kalisto.
Yeah, and another one, this is a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah.
Went completely as expected.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they had to do the big guy get over after the. Well, it was an okay rivalry between Ryback and Kalisto before he started voicing his views.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid match, and they couldn't continue it going. The little guy beating the big So
That submission at the end, though. I mean, Rusev has now added something to the accolade where he bends him back even further and almost takes himself back with him.
yeah,
And
it's definitely a way of improving the finisher to make it look more painful than what it already is.
And to be honest, he just tapped. It didn't even go on for very long. Simply because if you're bent in that position, Christ almighty.
Yeah, that's gonna help.
But yeah, I think Kalisto will probably move back to the tag title division.
Yeah, go back to the Lucha Dragons. But yeah, where they'll go with them inevitably, I do not know. I think it will be inevitable at some point that they will break them up and they'll go back to being single wrestlers again.
Yep. And with Rusev as the US champion, I mean, he's moving on to other feuds himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's been predicted by someone else who I know and I could see it happening. We've got Superman Cena returning next week on Raw.
Dear.
So whether we'll possibly see the return of the United States Open Championship.
I think I would prefer we didn't see a return of that.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, he did it for a long time, but it was just Cena pinning people who you knew were never going to get US title runs. A lot of the people he wrestled you didn't think were legit single superstars.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Kalisto was only going to be a bit part. Just filling a void basically with the US title. And so I think that's run its course now. And like you say, go back to being the Lucha Dragons with Sin Cara.
Right, on to the next one.
Yeah, and we've got everybody's favourite tag team, The New Day.
Oh.
Defending the tag titles against the Lord Villains.
Yeah, a match I completely didn't see coming. I didn't expect the Lord Villains to win it.
No. But I think they're there to sort of create a legitimate challenge for them. I liked the build up to the match. There were some good promos in there, especially Xavier Woods bringing out his time traveling machine.
Which was not a cardboard box for a refrigerator.
No. It was a legitimate thing. But yeah.
Well, this match was a lot shorter than I expected.
Yeah, they weren't really too generous with the timings that they gave for the pay-per-view. I mean, Rusev and Kalisto had a longer time than the tag title match.
The other tag team match had a longer time than the tag title match.
Yeah, this is true. But yeah, end of the day though, it was a solid match. It's actually good to see Xavier Woods tagging with Big E for a change.
Yeah.
For a long time, it's been Big E and Kofi, and Xavier Woods as the supporting band.
Yeah, runs assistance. Now, the one thing I want to pick up, there was one thing that happened in this match that sort of groped for me a bit. See, the Raw Villains, they're a relatively new team to the main roster. And their first tag title match, they did their finisher, the Whirling Dervish, and it got kicked out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm all in favour for finishers being protective. They should be finishers. For a new team trying to get over on the main roster, having them had their finisher being kicked out so early.
Yeah. I mean, before then they've only had a few tag team matches on the main roster, and unfortunately, with the current creative team that we have in WWE, they pretty much expect you to already know these people who have moved up from NXT. They naturally expect you to have watched NXT and know their work rather than build them up and almost give you a little bit of a history, a bit of an insight into this new team that are on turn. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Finishers are finishers for a reason.
I mean, if they were going to have them do the finisher in the match, they should have had it reversed. They should have had it
or
broken up.
Yeah. I mean, you could have had Big E break it up, or maybe Kofi grab the referee's attention.
Or they could have done a different tag team move.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they did another one on the Raw previous, the sort of flip into the power bomb.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, after the attack in the bygone era.
So I think that they should have used that one, or just not gone for the finisher if it wasn't going to end the match.
Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately in this day and age, at the moment, we seem to get people kicking out of finishers a bit too often for my liking. But I imagine that will be a subject for later on when we talk about the main events.
Yes.
Amongst a few other things.
So, on to the next one, and this I consider to be my match of the night.
Oh, without a doubt, it definitely lived up to the hype. It was an unbelievable match. You had triple team moves.
Yeah.
You even had a couple of 4-men moves, which is always good to see because you very rarely see them sort of moves. And all the guys in this match are talented enough to work it out amongst themselves and put it off and make it look really good.
Yeah, one thing I found funny in this match was as soon as it started, Kevin Owens just got kicked in the face straight away.
Yeah.
Out of the.
Yeah, I mean, nobody saw that coming, but obviously, unfortunately, we're not going to have a Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan moment at WrestleMania.
No.
Mentioned that quickly. But yeah, it certainly took Owens out for a few minutes at the start of the match.
No, this match went everywhere. It's like you didn't know who was going to win it. There were a ton of good spots in it. Cesaro uppercutting everyone in the corner.
Yeah.
Literally going for 3 different corners. He must have done about 9 or 10 uppercuts in a row.
Yeah, and then let's not forget about I lost count of how many swings he done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very good, very solid match. But then, considering the guys that were in the match, you'd kind of expect that. The ending was not quite what I saw coming, but
Not the ending I wanted.
no, but yeah, it's touching actually on a subject that Stone Cold and a few of the older guys have brought up in the past about some of the guys in the company these days are not very good at selling. And unfortunately, I picked up on something towards the end of this match when we had the inevitable end. You had pretty much all 4 men in the one corner. And Kevin Owens came along and launched the Miz out of the ring, and he hit the mat on the outside. And then Sami Zayn came in, took out Kevin Owens, took him out of the ring. Then you had Sami Zayn do a kick to Cesaro in the corner. And then next thing we know, the Miz is already up and hiding round a corner. And then Kevin Owens breaks up the pin, and the Miz sneaks in and gets the victory.
Well, to be honest, I've never been a big fan of The Miz, and I'm surprised he's gotten as far as he has gotten in the company.
Yeah, I mean, he's been getting a hell of a lot of heat ever since he had that heavyweight championship title run.
Oh, man, that was terrible.
Yes, the infamous WrestleMania against Cena. I think I speak for me and yourself. I think that's the only time I've genuinely wanted the Miz to win a match.
Yeah, it's true. But simply because it was the lesser of 2 evils.
Yeah.
I don't think it was us wanting Miz to win. We just didn't want Cena to win.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where they go with the Intercontinental title from here. Because on top of that, we've got Money in the Bank coming up as well. So it'll be interesting to see who qualifies for that match. And I have a feeling we might be getting a completely new challenger for the Intercontinental title.
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe they'll give it a rest for a month or so, possibly, but I can't see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens coming back in for it. maybe they'll escalate it a little bit further with Cesaro.
It might go down the line come SummerSlam, maybe.
Yeah. Right. Let's move on further into the card, and then we had another awesome match. We had the Asylum match.
Yeah, this was quite a decent concept. I mean, essentially it's a cage match, but with all the weapons hanging above the ring.
Yeah, and I'll give dues to both wrestlers involved in the match. They fully utilised all of them weapons.
Now, it's funny, when we were watching this, when he brought the bucket down, I literally laughed and said, well, what's he going to do with a bucket?
Yeah.
And not that knowing that he had a bag in there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would have seen that one coming. It's been a long time since WWE used thumbtacks in a match.
Yeah, I probably would say not since 2004 when Mick Foley fought Randy Orton in the No Holds Barred match.
Oof. Another brutal match.
Yeah, Randy took it quite bad as well.
Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I'm liking that they sort of leave these props and gags for a long time, so then you don't get bored of it, and it's not necessarily fresh, but it's just something different that they don't use an awful lot. Yeah, overall, it was a really good match, and obviously Jericho took one hell of a bump.
Yeah.
At the end of the match.
Oh man, didn't he just?
Yeah, it was a rather shocking end, to be fair. I did not see it finishing the way it did, but yeah, Jericho got slammed onto the thumbtacks by Ambrose.
Yep.
And then when he finally got up, he got hit with the double arm DDT.
Yeah, the dirty deeds.
The dirty deeds, indeed.
And what I found funny was when Ambrose was walking up the ring, walking up the ramp. And you can do this. Go and watch the WWE Network. As Ambrose is walking up the ramp, you see a referee pull a tack out of Jericho's back, and he flips off and starts kicking the referee.
Yeah.
And screaming at him. And it's one of the most hilarious moments I've seen this year.
Oh, well, I'd say, despite people's personal feelings towards Jericho, he's one of the best guys ever to play as a heel. He just plays it so well, and it's even the little tiny subtle things he does just to purely get a reaction out of the crowd.
You see, I'm not the biggest fan of Jericho, but I will say that he is a good heel, and when he's back, he should always be a heel, because face just doesn't work for him. I get bored with him as a face.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've had flashes of him as face and that, but I think probably the last time we had proper face Jericho was probably around 2000, 2001.
Yeah,
When,
that's saying something.
And he had the few rivalries with China and Hardcore Holly for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, and then he had one of my favourite ones, his rivalry with Triple H.
Yeah, well, anything involving Triple H usually turns to gold.
Well, he had a 2000, a lot of people consider to be his year, because he was just on top of his game at that point.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that one.
From the Royal Rumble at the beginning, the Cactus Jack right the way till the Armageddon match at the end.
Yeah.
He had one hell of a year.
Didn't he just? Yeah, that was the Asylum match, and predictably Ambrose picking up the victory.
It's good.
And yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to be the end of it, or whether they'll sort of escalate it to the Money in the Bank match, possibly.
I think that for the time being, the rivalry will be done for. And then they'll be concentrating on Money in the Bank. They'll probably have some run-ins in Money in the Bank, but I think after that, they will both be going on to new feuds.
Yeah. Yes, and then let's get on to the second to last match. It was the Women's Championship match between Charlotte and Natalia.
Yeah, again, this match went exactly as expected. Natalia is a solid in-ring worker. We were all hoping that this was going to be the moment that Charlotte finally did it on her own. And then, another lame stunt by the WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been discussing this with you recently. I know obviously Charlotte's a heel and she's got to get heat from the crowd and whatnot, but I don't think I've seen a heel get this many wins by constant interference, which I think personally put a bit of a downer on the match because overall it was a very good match.
Yeah.
And I think personally the finish just spoiled the match a little bit.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's like I said this to you the other day when if you go back and look at the great heels, in my opinion, Triple H, JBL, and a couple others, even Seth to a point.
Yeah.
You know, yes, occasionally they do win with interference. Heels do. But you knew deep down that if you would have put them in a cage, a one-on-one, ban the interference, that they'd be able to pull it off.
Yeah. And I mean, you can even go back to you mentioned JBL when he had his cabinet and that.
Yeah.
As much as they did get involved at times, like you say, he'd still pick up the victory, and it wasn't always by interference.
He won a fair few matches on his own, and you knew he could. But this is the problem I'm having with Charlotte. She's a heel, but she should be able to win matches on her own. And at the moment, they're just not believing it.
No, and also it brings up the whole question. I mean, I know myself and you, we don't need to be proven because we've seen Charlotte's work in NXT and she's a hell of a wrestler. But yeah, it brings up the old argument once again. She's kept the title again, but due to yet another interference, and then it will bring up fans saying, she can't keep the title without Rick or Dana or whoever it may be assisting her in the victory.
I mean, they've got to start letting her do it on her own, doing it clean.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people are never going to take her seriously as a heel. That's what I was saying to you the other day. We're lacking in good heels because WWE just don't know how to build them anymore.
No, it's been quite a while since you've had a good core of genuinely good heels. I mean, you got a couple floating around. I mean, obviously you got Seth around and Kevin Owens. I'd be quite happy if he's a heel for the rest of his career.
He's good at it. But this is the argument that WWE didn't make him. He was a heel a long time before he became to the WWE.
Yeah, and then obviously he had the long public rivalry in NXT where he turned on Sammy, and people hated him a lot in NXT because of what he do to Sammy on a basis for a good few months.
Yeah, wasn't nice. But that's what you want from a heel. Heels are there to be booed.
Yeah.
If you ain't being booed as a heel, you're not doing your job properly.
No, that's it. And unfortunately, I think they just need to do a better job of booking Charlotte's matches.
Much better.
The silly interferences at the end for her to pick up the victory, they're just damaging her reign and damaging her as a wrestler.
But hopefully now, with Ric Flair out the way, and we'll touch on that in another subject, hopefully the booking for her will get better.
We can but hope. Right.
Now,
let's break into the main event. Extreme Rules match between Roman and AJ Styles.
Yeah. Now, I thought this match was brilliant.
Yeah, it was a very good backwards and forwards match. There wasn't it wasn't a typical Roman match that we've seen him being booked for recently at pay-per-views where he just basically gets beaten down for 15 minutes and then he has his Superman Cena-esque moments and then picks up the victory.
No, I mean, this went everywhere. I love that they took it to a few new locations. They fought on the pre-show panel, which was quite funny.
Yeah, that was certainly different, and yeah, as you say, quite refreshing as well, because it's very rare we see them work their way around the arena fighting.
And there were a few good spots there. AJ being backdropped through the table.
Yeah,
and he went pretty high in the air.
oh, yeah, he certainly gets height when he goes for them jumps, and yeah, surprisingly, we had 2 tables broken in that match.
Yeah, and it wasn't the Spanish.
What? Not the Spanish announcer table?
No, the normal one and the German table.
What is WWE doing for us? We can't go on an event without the Spanish announcer table not being broken.
Oh no. Like what? When we used to watch the Attitude Era, the Spanish table would get destroyed on a weekly basis.
This is also true. Yeah, but I wonder if maybe they'll escalate it at one pay-per-view, and maybe we'll have someone going through the Japanese announcer table.
How about the Russian announce table?
Yeah, it was a very good match, and predictably, not that we were expecting any less. The club and the Usos got involved.
Yeah, saw that coming a mile off.
Yeah. So yeah, when they all got involved, I think it escalated a bit, and we got to see a few more of the weapons coming up. Those the chair shots.
Yes, this is a point we will touch on. Now, a lot of people don't like the way Roman's being booked. I don't either. And how many chair shots did he deliver? Tons and tons and tons. You were just
in that last build up to the end of the match, there must have been at least 50.
And then for all those chair shots, and then it just another Superman moment.
Yep. Once AJ was done battering Roman with the chair, he then went to go for the phenomenal forearm.
Yes.
And then, personally, I think it's more of a elbow than a forearm, but needless to say, we'll go along with it. But yeah, he went to go for the move, and then in mid-air, we had a spear out of nowhere.
Ugh. It's almost becoming as bad as the RKO out of nowhere.
Oh no, nothing beat the RKO out of nowhere. People have been taking advantage of that a lot. I mean, I even went to one of the Asda supermarkets a few weeks back, and I even saw a straight out of nowhere rip-off.
That's good.
Apart from the Superman ending, which again is getting a little bit too predictable because we've seen it for many years throughout John Cena's career.
Yes.
It'd just be nice, as much as the fans may not like it, just to get clean cut decisions, and even just get Roman just batter a guy for 5-10 minutes, and then he picks up the victory. I mean, they always try to make out that he was the muscle of the Shield,
It's
and
true.
He's he's a big guy, but he's not a big guy at the same time. And yeah, considering they like to emphasise this, we've not really seen sort of like Roman have a proper crush match.
No, it's true.
We've seen Christ knows how many by Ryback.
Oh, yeah, we won't be seeing any more.
No, I don't think we'll be seeing Ryback either, unfortunately.
It's like people are wondering why fans boo Roman, and it's booking like this that doesn't help.
No,
because we've all put up with Cena for a number of years doing his stuff.
Yeah,
taking a 20-minute beatdown, winning with a couple of moves.
5 moves to do.
And no one wants to see that anymore. We want a face who is going to show a bit of vulnerability.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I know it's difficult when you've got many, many, many decades of wrestling, but you want to try and see something fresh, something we've not necessarily seen. Even if it's something like we haven't seen in the company in about 10 years or so. It's just the predictable ends that we keep on having to endure and miss. It's becoming quite frustrating as a fan of the company.
Yeah. I mean, having to watch it, I like to be surprised by things. I like to go, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And recently, over the last, I don't know, year or so, I've been able to predict, probably you have too, numerous things that have happened.
Yeah. And again, it's not all necessarily on the talents that are in the ring. At times it's just down to the poor booking by the creative teams. But who knows? They may surprise us soon at some point.
But yeah, Roman is still the champion. And afterwards, we got a little surprise return.
Oh, didn't we just? I was watching it with my wife, and wow, I think she almost nearly had a heart attack. She just started screaming, oh my God, steps back, oh. Yeah, and we've got the return of Seth Rollins.
And now that he's back to try and fight for the title, he never lost. Because he didn't. He had to vacate it through injury.
And I think it's very safe to say we're going to be seeing Seth versus Roman for the next few months, possibly.
Yeah, I think we'll get 2, maybe 3 pay-per-views out of it.
Yeah, I think they'll possibly go about freshening it up for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Someone new, whoever may be the champion at that time. I mean, I'm pretty sure Brock's meant to be on the card for SummerSlam, but I don't think they'll be putting him in the title picture.
Yeah, do we really need to see Brock and Roman again? I don't know.
No, I mean, we had it in the build-up for WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
And, it was okay, but unfortunately the booking was a bit lackluster. I mean, I know obviously Brock's the Beast incarnate, and he does just basically dominate people in the matches, but yeah, it's just a little bit predictable again because we had Brock basically beating down on Roman for 15, 20 minutes, and then he started to have his Superman moment until Seth came out and certainly changed the picture in that match. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they're going to start evolving some of these storylines, and plus as well, obviously, in a few weeks, we've got the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to see who's going to come out on top of that match. I mean, it's not 100% guaranteed, but I believe it's 14 out of the 16 winners have gone on to successfully cash the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and the 2 that didn't, one deserved to and one didn't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first notable one was Cena.
Yeah, he was the first, which we will always remind him of.
Yeah, but then, of course, unfortunately, they couldn't have just Cena being the only one.
Oh, no. Couldn't live with that. But that was a decision that I think was rushed because they were doing the whole title unification thing. Was it that year? I can't remember.
I don't often doubt your memory. You're pretty on the ball most of the time.
Well, I think that they needed to get the Money in the Bank off of Sandow before the titles were unified.
Yeah.
And that was how they did it.
Yeah. So I think that wraps it up for Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it was a good pay-per-view, a couple of good matches.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I wasn't overly disappointed with the pay-per-view. Like you say, there was a lot of solid and good matches in there. Again, I think they need to possibly tweak on the timings that they're giving some of these matches.
Yes.
I mean, the Tornado Tag match got more than the WWE Tag Team title match.
Shouldn't have happened.
No.
I know. We hope you enjoyed that. As always, subscribe to our channel for when new content comes out. And from your host, the master of the brain damage,
I've been Martin.
and I've been Sam H. And we will see you on the next one. Peace out.